Okay, here in the finals, and we're going to keep this hand. Not the best I've ever seen, but adequate. Let's see what we're up against in the finals. I anticipate green, but we shall see. Bloodstained Mire to start it off. All right, Brainstorm. Well, Brainstorm's a little better if I cast it pre-rampant growth, but currently unable to do that. All right, Bloodstained Mire, finding Sacred Foundry. Opponent's mana base already looks pretty good. Looks like we might be playing against America. Right, let's go ahead and Rampant Growth. Think twice. So possibly America Control or something. Not a lot of archetypes running Think Twice, I would think, besides Control. So I anticipate getting into some counterspell battles, but we shall see. Yeah, Seagate Oracle, another sort of control-ish card. If I draw another blue source, I can leave up Mystic Snake. Actually, Sakura Tribe Elder is kind of nice. So I think I'm going to play the Elder and pass. And what I'm going to do is Brainstorm at the end of his turn and likely put a couple cards I don't need on top and then shuffle my library. So Brainstorm actually getting good use. Thank God. Because Brainstorm not that good outside of shuffle effects, but really good with shuffle effects. The old Seagate Oracle beatdown. Yep, we're gonna just take one here. I mean, I could play Brainstorm, block, then sack, but I'd rather, I don't know, pretend like I got something, I guess. He probably just wants to play Think Twice anyway. Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so we'll Brainstorm now. See if he allows it. He does. So, certainly not shuffling away the River Boa. So I guess what we're going to do is put Battlement and land on top and then shuffle, because I don't feel like Battlement's super useful anymore. So let's get rid of Battlement, let's get rid of land, and then sack the Elder and get another island. And then untap, and then we actually, oh, Vendilion click. Well, that's not happening. And then we'll play island, play a boa. Even though I don't have it, I would rather resolve it right now. And then we'll pass. So he does get to kill River Boa with burn, but like I said, I'd rather play around counterspells than play around burn. I mean, in this match I have to do both, so it's challenging. But River Boa could do work if it doesn't die. Alright, still fine actually. I still get to resolve River Boa. And now I get to leave up regen too, so not too shabby. I think our turn is likely just going to be Edric, River Boa, pass. Or I should say Temple of Mystery, River Boa, Edric, pass. Yeah. That's still the game plan. So let's go Temple, see what we got on top. Don't need that. Bottom, River Boa, Edric, pass. So now we've got card draw engine and an unblockable regenning River Boa. And we have a Harmonize next turn too, which is pretty sexy. All in all, not the worst place to be. But no counter spells, so guess I have that as a little bit of a dilemma, but that's all right. Well, guess that in fact does deal with River Boa. Still has counterspell mana up, but we have the counterspell, so could be negate or something maybe. Guess we shall find out. So we'll harmonize, see if it resolves. Does. But just drew a bunch of lands, unfortunately. So I guess we go harbor, pass. Pretend like we have a counterspell, even though we don't. Certainly not attacking. Guess I could go overrun next turn and trample in for some damage, draw a couple cards. If my opponent has nothing. Image copying Edric makes sense. So probably trade a snake for a Mana War if given the option. All right. Seems like a fair trade. Precursor Golem. That's actually a pretty sexy one if we could resolve it, since that's going to make Overrun lethal. Opponent's got 3 cards though, so I imagine he's got a Cryptic Command or something. Or an Essence Scatter. Same thing, right? All right, looks like that's going to be the beginning of the end, so can't really come back from my opponent drawing 2 cards each turn. I anticipate losing now, but it's okay. Just didn't draw remarkably well this game. Bit too many lands. We actually had the card draw engine too, but overrun 2 lands was not the draw I was looking for. I'm really happy with my decision to run 16 lands in this deck, by the way. That was a great decision. All right, let's see if you can resolve this. And kill Edric. And we don't actually do any harm to Garrick, which is kind of nice. See if my opponent nukes Garrick. I could see that. Elspeth. Seems like a pretty good card. Get some tokens. Okay. Guess I could tolerate that too. But now my opponent's going to be able to nuke the Garrick anyway. Huh. So I guess if I draw a creature, I could technically find a better one, but I guess Moloku would actually be. Yeah, that might actually be the one. Can only have one Garrick out at a time, unfortunately. As much as I would love big Garrick at the moment. Yeah, it's pretty tough. I want to search up Moloku, but I can't do it. So I guess we put out a wolf and pass. I think I'll take 3 here. Death Touch Wolf might be more useful. You never know. Force of Will. Well, not the worst card I've ever seen. So I guess we get to Hardcast Force, which is pretty sweet. Just cycling for something. Well, if he's digging for something, I would say it's a pretty good sign. I'd like to overrun next turn, killing both his planeswalkers, and then I think we actually have semi-realistic shot of getting back into this game. Electrolyze. That will allow him to kill Garrick, so I think I have to force that. Alright, that is completely tolerable. If our opponent's got nothing, that would be ideal. Our opponent can't kill Garrick, though, and then we're in real good shape. He's got to attack with everything. I can kill Seagate Oracle. And I can, okay. So, oh wait, these are all at me? I want to kill both his planeswalkers next turn, I think. I can afford to take 4, and then I go to 9, and then he can only deal 7 to me next turn. Yeah, I think this is still correct. We're going to take it. Oh, well, that's unfortunate. So, lost Garrick. Now we're in a pretty tough spot again, unfortunately. So I guess we overrun, take out his planeswalkers. "16 lands was definitely the right decision for our deck, though. I am happy with that. And I think we actually had a pretty good shot of winning this game if we'd just drawn better. So despite our deck being pretty poor. We still had I feel like we still have a actual chance at beating this deck. We just have to draw better. So ideally we draw better in game 2 and survive. What do I want against this deck? Still don't really have much of a sideboard. I guess Teferi would actually be pretty good. Teferi typically pretty good against a deck that runs counter spells. So I guess we can bring that in. I feel like Precursor Golem's going to be pretty bad because I'm just going to end up sacrificing it. Like if you cast Electrolyze on it, he just draws 3 cards. I mean, it doesn't kill my Golem, granted, but wait, it copies it 3 times. Yeah, I think that would still be pretty nasty. Probably rather have Teferi. Kind of want to keep the Golem anyway, just because I'm so short on stuff. Let's cut the Brainstorm. It's such an easy cut. All right, let's try this again. We'll play first. Yeah, I guess his hand's okay. It's not very good, but it's okay. I kind of don't want to play a turn 2 Riverboa, because if he kills it, it's a problem. Although, yeah, I guess it's... I'm trying to think. I don't know what burn spells he's running, I guess. But I kind of don't want to let... It's kind of a... It's a bad situation anyway you slice it, to tell you the truth, because if I wait and he's got Essence Scatter, I'm screwed. If I don't wait, he might have Burn Spell and I'm screwed. So it's like, it turned out we were okay. So that's the good news. Actually, I think I should have played another Forest there just for double regen capability, but that's all right. So at least we have an unblockable Regenerator at the moment. That's pretty nice. And we can leave up the old Mystic Snake now, which is nice. Definitely no incentive to play Rampant Growth, I'll tell you that much. Really want to leave up Mystic Snake. And yeah, that's not happening. Orphelos not too shabby. So I could play the Precursor Golem, but I think it's actually better to just leave up the regen. So I think we're going to go Orphelos, pass. Temple. Certainly don't need that. I think we're going Orphelos beats. Go Rampant Growth, because deck thinning. And pass. Interesting. So opponent was unable to deal with anything that game, which is pretty weird. Wait a second. Didn't I bottom you? Oh yeah, and then I ramp it and you came back to the top. You SOB. Alright, so opponents like Planeswalkers.deck. Merca Planeswalkers. Do I want to go Hall of Triumph Beatdown? If only I had more actual creatures that could attack. Now let's just go again. Okay, final game. Yeah, we're going to keep this because we've got the old Elder to help us ramp and fix. And we have Shardless Agent to cascade into our counterspell, so it's Perfect. We got a turn 2 play from this mister. What is it? Revoker naming what? I hope it's River Boa. Rafellos. All right. Well, thankfully not an issue based. Oh, wow. Look at that. Called shot on my opponent. Thankfully, we've got other stuff to keep us busy, so not that much of an emergency. Old Man of the Sea. It's pretty good against us, too, admittedly. But that's okay. So let's see if we can't get a land here off the top to resolve our master. And that's an unfortunate draw. I guess we Shardless Agent, cascading into Counterspell. Yes, he can steal it with Old Man of the Sea, but I shall accept that. We're in the market of drawing spells, or drawing lands at the moment, so. Shardless Agent is supposed to be like a ramp effect in our deck, but let's see how it plays. It is, in fact, a ramp effect, and I could not ask for a better Shardless Agent draw there, since our opponent's going to be unable to steal that with Old Man of the Sea as well, so pretty cool. So next turn, I guess the plan is Garrett killing Old Man of the Sea, flipping him and allowing us to spit things out, ideally. See if he's on a Johnny Vengeant plan. Probably is. Yes, of course. Yes, of course. So Island's not going to untap because Johnny Vengeant's not a very fair card. Hopefully we draw a land anyway. And we did. So now we play Garrick. We fight Old Man of the Sea. Doesn't matter now if he steals Shardless Agent. We get it back. Yep, does not matter. So Garrick's transformed. Now we pass. Guess theoretically he can kill Agent. Okay. So now he attacks Garrick, but at least we have our land at our disposal, which is certainly the good news. Still think we probably had to take care of Old Man of the Sea. So now we can cast Jace as well. But I would like another blue mana so I could leave back my blocker. But if I play Jace and Fate Seal, it's actually not too terrible. Could also play the Master of the Wild Hunt into a Johnny Vengeant burn, but I might just have to accept that. I don't mind Master or Jace Fate Seal, but I don't know. I don't know how good it is yet. If I draw a land, I can go Jace Fate Seal plus Rafellos is like blocker. Well, I did get a land, but not exactly the one I'm looking for. Precursor. Doesn't seem too bad, actually. If he doesn't have a burn spell for it, because we have the overrun, I guess we leave it. Let's go Master and pass or Jace. Jace leaves me tapped down, and then he could still use a Johnny, I guess, technically. He does have Essence Scatter mana up, though, which is good for the Master. We do know he's got Essence Scatter. We don't know if he's got Negate. if he busts all of his resources, including attacking Jace as well as Johnny Vengeant, he can kill Jace, but I don't know if I'm like ultra concerned about that. I think I just go for Master here. So benefits of Master are if I can resolve it, get past an Essence Scatter, he has to use Johnny Vengeance to kill it. Sadly, he did not have Essence Scatter. Either way, I was getting counterspelled, so not the absolute end of the world, but clearly not ideal either. All right, I can still beat that, so it's not the worst. No plays is good. I think here we go for the Golem. Hope he doesn't have a counterspell or removal. Does in fact have the counter we did not want him to have, which is unfortunate, but I have no choice but to unhappily resign myself to it. One card left in our opponent's hand, so I'm trying to think what my play is now. I guess I can do Raphaelos plus Jace now, I guess. That's pretty unfortunate that my opponent's last card in his hand was Vendilion Click, but I have no choice but to unhappily resign myself to it. And then I get a Forbid instead, which is not quite as good as a Jace, as you might expect. So I'm not exactly sure how we're beating the Vendilion Click of Johnny Vengeant, but hopefully I'll come up with an idea how soon. I guess we have to sort of harmonize here, as much as I loathe to admit it. Alright, well, Force of Will draw is actually not the worst. So still, I guess Moloku, yeah, Moloku's an out to Vendilion Click, so if I can find Moloku, we're okay. If I can't find Moloku, we're going to get beat down so fast, it'll make your head spin. That's a lot of counter spells. Fortunately, counter spells don't do much against a 3/1 flyer. So I play Mystic Snake as like a chump blocker to buy me time. It's pretty not sexy. Well, yeah, this could actually be okay, I guess. So I think we play the Mystic Snake. Anyway. Block, Revoker, Seagate Oracle. And attack Johnny Vengeant. Still have not figured out a way to beat Vendilion Click. Yep, Search for Tomorrow, as it turns out, does not beat Vendilion Click. Some people think it does, but it actually doesn't, oddly enough. So I guess we kill Vengeant, so I don't just straight up die next turn. So if I find Moloku, I likely win. If I don't find Moloku, I definitely lose. It's about what this game boils down to. Nope. All right, well, it was a fun match. Our deck was terrible, and we still did remarkably well. So overall, very happy with the performance of our bad deck. I thought it did very well. Lost in the finals to a deck I think we could have beaten. So overall, deck was played very well for how poor it was. So I'm actually proud of how well it turned out to play for us, and we even had an out to this situation this whole time too. So um, pretty remarkable. Pretty remarkable. All right. Well, I guess we'll see for the next cube after my opponent decides to kill us, because why would he not decide to kill us? Yeah. All right. We'll see for the next one.